thanks for coming back so you can hear part 3 of Can I Really Be a Change Agent as a Montessori Teacher in a Classroom? Here's part 3. Part 1 and 2 will be down below if you've missed it. So, where I left off is I had to send an email about a child whose hair is not in dress code, okay? After 26 weeks of him walking around on campus and nobody said a word. So here we are. We head till Friday, where I come into no email about the hair, still no response from my team lead on this issue about the protocol that she put in place about how a child only can have one parent that comes to one field trip and can't be in the second field trip so that every family can get a chance. Nope. She have my back? No, she does not. Okay, here we go. Going into Friday. You know, as I've mentioned, it's very reward based system, right? So, if you get 10 stickers, you get a party. If you do this, you get this. It's just very cause effect, right? Not really any building of this intrinsic value of like just doing a good job, just being a good human, right? Very much the Montessori tenet. I thought most people like this tenet. Clearly, it's not necessarily working when you have 24 kids and no assistant in a classroom. It's full day, you don't do centers, and you pretty much are in your desk for a good amount of that day. Okay, so they got their stickers, or my class got their stickers. So proud. You guys feel so proud about how hard you're working? We're going to have a party. Everybody's going to decide what the party is. We're going to do a donut party, okay? But then I noticed on Friday, because now we have to start all over again, 10 more stickers. We're once again acting like, well, it's going to take a long time. And we're getting a donut party anyway. So we really don't have to show respect in the classroom, be accountable for our choices. None of those things that we say in the pledge every single day after the Pledge of Allegiance, right? So the day is a bit tricky, the ones that usually have a hard time, still having a hard time. I don't think I've mentioned that I have a kid that comes to school because he does not sleep and sleeps the first 30 minutes of class. Admin's called, parent has said, oh, he's probably just watching TV in his room. I don't know what to tell you. How about take the TV out of the room? So the poor baby, he's exhausted. So Friday he came in, he comes in crying because he's exhausted. He keeps falling asleep while we're doing lesson. I send him to the nurse to see if are we going to call mom? What are we going to do? We've talked to mom about this. He has to sleep. Nurse lets him go ahead and sleep for 30 minutes. So I let him go ahead and sleep. Then I go and wake him so at least he can go outside for recess to get some air. And what do you know? The child got to have almost a full hour of sleep. He's a different kid in the classroom. Isn't that amazing when your child gets to sleep? How much better he is at school. Okay. Did I mention haircut? This is a different child. Haircut's not done. Child number 3, who cannot seem to not keep touching people, can't stay in his seat, now has taken to chewing the erasers off his pencil. He's having a morning as well. Still, merrily rolling along, right? And finally, we get to the afternoon, and still all of these behaviors, and I say, I just think we're probably not going to have that donut party. You're going to need to get it together. You know how we're supposed to act in the classroom. So we move on, and literally, as you probably know many times, every transition, the talking, every transition. So finally I go, so it was up there, the date, we're going to have the donut party. And I just erase it. And I just keep going, right? And some of them figured out what that means, and others are still going. And then finally I said, there's no more party. And everybody gets quiet. I said, I can't. I love you enough that you cannot think that getting donut parties is what this is about. I can't let you think that. This in the classroom, it's not acceptable. We're 26 weeks in. 26 weeks. So I continued on, still couldn't seem to get it together. Then we're on our way to PE. Still, 2 kids could not figure it out. Well, guess you're going to sit with me for PE, right? Gave you a consequence. You're getting the consequence. Come in, you can practice your handwriting. I have work to do. I'm happy to sit with you. Not that I really want to, because I need a break from you, but okay, you can sit in here with me. One of them clearly he was upset. I'm like, oh good, I've gotten your attention, right? Well, he just happens to be leaving that day for a doctor's appointment. So, we go back to pick up at PE. I get there a few minutes early so they can see what fun they missed. Maybe this is going to change your behavior. I don't know. We walk back to the classroom about 15 minutes later, after we had a conversation about how we make sure this doesn't happen again. He gets picked up. Email from mom. Not having PE? ? I just don't know, I just don't understand. I just think this is his most favorite thing, and now his grade's going to go down in PE, and I just think this is not acceptable, and I just think that we need to partner, and I haven't even mentioned that this is the very person when I saw he was making great strides, her child. I sent an email saying, I've really been noticing your child has been doing so much better because he's been having behavioral problems too. And she responds back, oh yes, he wants Student of the Month. So guess what I did? I gave him Student of the Month for March. And then to see this behavior all day long. And I had sent the email to them Thursday night. I'm not going to tell him. You feel free to tell him, or you can surprise him, but he really has earned it. And they're like, oh, we're not going to tell him. Oh, yes, you told him. That's why he's acting like this now. Because his goal was to get Student of the Month, and he got it. Easy peasy. Now I don't have to act the way I can act the way I want. I got Student of the Month. So again, I don't know if this is coming through, and if you're able, watch it in its entirety, because this is 25 minutes of my week, of how the week was. But I just think I'm coming to the conclusion that you can really only do so much without parent buy-in. You really have to figure out how to structure your classroom that the consequences are within the setting of the classroom, because I'll be very honest with you. After that email, it was about 30 minutes before class ended, the school day ended, I started tearing up. I was finishing up the last lesson because, oh yes, we had one more lesson, science. I haven't even told you what happened with science. Okay, I'm sorry, there's going to be a part 4 because I haven't even told you about science. Okay, yeah, this was the 4-day week, you guys. So let me go ahead and stop it there, and I'll tell you about science.